Hey guys, Chris here sitting with Josh. We're zooming in again today. It's warming up a little bit. We've been under the snow here this week. We got like 6 inches of snow. I think I can actually see green grass out my window right now. It's finally got warm enough to melt a lot of it. But it's time for our second edition of what our show. We're asking for titles. We don't have one right now. We've had some really great ones, Josh. I think my favorite so far has been Tales from the Void, but we're not entirely sure if that's the one we locked down on. What were some of your favorites?
Well, we've got Comic Culture with the Brothers Boyd. We got sent. We got the Brothers Boyd BAM, or call it Triple B for short. And they said the tagline should be "Start your week with a BAM of pop culture, comics, and fun." That's an interesting one.
With three B's.
Yeah, three B's.
Three B's.
Um,
Yeah,
Letters from the Boyd. The one
yeah.
you said, Tales from the Boyd. We got the Brothers Boyd comic book show, but now we talk more than comics. Somebody said we should expand on Friends of the Brothers Boyd. And then in YouTube, we got Brothers Boyd Beyond, Boyd Brothers Rewind, Boyd Brothers Universe, Boyd's Cosmic Panels, TBB News, and the Brothers Boyd Bulletin.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those are all
Brother,
so far.
yeah, Brothers Boyd Universe is a scary place. I don't know if you want to get in there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
The BAM.
yeah,
I got a guy
bam.
Ferrari
Yeah,
I can throw on.
yeah, 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 yeah. We're not making food though. We're not good at cooking. We're good at finding places that cook good food and
Yeah,
we
we're
go
good
eat
at
it.
eating, not cooking. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going there.
yeah. Yeah, Josh has got a Chinese buffet radar. If we're within like half a mile, he can scope it out.
You're
And
right.
in North Carolina,
Buffet.
in North Carolina, if you find a food line, the easiest way to find a Chinese restaurant is look to your right or to your left.
Yes, exactly. There's always one.
Awesome,
Well,
awesome.
Chris, I know it's
So
been
let's talk.
2 weeks.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did this. Sorry, folks. I hate we missed a week. But I had a teaching conference I had to go to, and I was presenting. So I took the extra days with the holiday to get myself ready for that. And so we missed out. Still, we've been reading some great comics. Some really cool stuff has been coming out.
We have been. We got snowed in for a couple of days. I had a huge stack of comics, so I was able to catch up on a lot of stuff. Um, got to read the new Absolute Batman #4. Have not sat down with Absolute Wonder Woman #4 yet. It's on my stack though. I need to read out. I did read today though, Josh. I read Wonder Woman #17.
Yeah.
Tom King and he's just killing it on that book, and the artwork is incredible. I
Oh,
love that book.
yeah. Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful colors with the Wonder Girls on it. I read
Yeah, I got
a little while ago.
I got the DNA cover on that, and I'm hoping. I know Nakayama's going to be at MegaCon in a couple of weeks. I think that might be the one I get him to sign because it's a
No,
gorgeous cover.
yeah.
It also has all four of the Wonder Girls on it.
No.
So,
Yeah, that was a good
so
read. And Chris, when you get to Absolute Wonder Woman #4, I just read it this afternoon. You know my question? When you read it, you're going to be like, how big is this freaking sword? It just keeps
I,
bigger and bigger.
hey, I think the sword is just like a certain part of Wonder Girl that they played with. Not Wonder Girl, but Power
Power
Girl
Girl.
in the
Yeah.
comics. I
Yeah.
think it's getting bigger every book they write, and I'm like,
Well, let me tell you, with issue 4, it really gets big. I'm like, how big is this freaking thing?
so is her name Diana Prince or is her name Cloud? Because we're in Final Fantasy territory now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It is like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy.
Fantasy. I mean, we're crossing genres there.
Yeah.
Um, Josh, I've been reading a lot of Marvel, and if you look over my shoulder, you'll see two that I picked up this week. Actually, I picked them up yesterday at our shop. We had a little let's talk about that too. We had our first comic exchange yesterday at our local shop in New Bern, Carolina Comics and More. Thanks, Andy. It was a good day. I mean, what I expected. We just had a snowstorm 3 days ago. It was cold, but you know what? It was not cold yesterday. It was a beautiful day. I actually think I got some sun on my face.
Oh, I
It
did.
was
You can
pretty
see
warm.
it, how red I am.
Yeah,
I got
yeah, and so we're looking forward to hopefully doing it again in the future when it gets a little warmer, have more people come out. It was just a great time. A lot of people, thanks to everybody that showed up. We look forward to more people next time. Swapping out comics, talking comics. I know we talk comics with a lot of people out there. We love talking comics. But I picked up two books yesterday, and I was going to talk about one, but believe it or not, there's a little bit of a twist, and that's why I put both of these comics up here. The first one I picked up and read was Rogue the Savage Land, and what we're getting is a retelling of the time when Rogue actually wound up in the Savage Land during the X-Men story, the main X-Men story. So we're getting a little more fleshed out story. I think Josh, this is going to be 5 issues. Um, really good story. I've really enjoyed it so far. It's a good development of Rogue's character. Rogue is like one of my favorite X-Men anyway, has been for a long time. But to get to see her in this Savage Land, and we get to see, if you look real close at the cover, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I'll try to bring it a little
yeah,
closer.
bring that closer.
If you
She's in that
get a little bit.
outfit. Yeah.
Oh, Savage Land. But here's the thing about the Savage Land outfit, which you find out in the book. That's actually her uh X-Men outfit. Just the ravages of Savage Land have uh tore her outfit to what you see right now. It's what she has left.
Wow.
And you can see, look in the corner there where my finger is, you can see Kazar right there. Kazar is part of the story. Magneto is here. Did not see him in this story yet, but between her legs there, um, it's just a perspective thing. Is Nick Fury standing in the background as well? So I'm sure he's going to be part of that story as well too.
Leave it to
Uh,
Nick Fury to get in there.
yeah, yeah. Well, he's a bad MF. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, so this is a really good story set in the Savage Land. Which is a huge part of the X-Men story. And so you get to see this a little bit more fleshed out. I love the artwork in there. It's really good. I think my panel of the week is going to come from there. I got to pull it and send it to you so you can throw it up here, Josh. But really good artwork. I love the character. Obviously, you see the cover I got is one of my favorite cover artists, J. Scott Campbell, and I think he's going to do all 5 of the books. He's going to do a cover for each one. So, I'm going to grab all 5 of those. But leading into my second book, which I'm going to give you the Marvel this week. I'm going to be that Marvel guy. I did read some great indies as well too, but um, Ultimate Spider-Man number 13 hit this week. And if you know who that is on the cover, Josh,
Is
yeah,
that Craven? Is that Ultimate Craven?
yes, we got Ultimate Craven. If you go
Nice.
back and read the book, you go back and read the books back. They formed the Sinister Six in here. Kingpin formed the Sinister Six a couple of books back. Mysterio was there. We've got what's the dude that lives underground? Mole Man is there.
And Mole
Um,
Man.
Mole Man is there, dude, and it's just like they're doing a really good job of creating these characters. But what we found out last issue was, and spoilers, cover your ears if you don't want to hear. Craven has had so Peter and Harry are friends. If you're not reading Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter and Harry are friends. Peter has regained the power, which was the Maker stopped from happening before the spider, bit him. Now he has the power. Tony Stark came back as Iron Lad, gave him the pretty much let the spider bite him, so he became Spider-Man again. His suit works a lot differently though. It's almost like a symbiote,
Ooh.
and so which that's a whole nother story which I feel like is coming. But what opened it up is in the end of the last book, which was the Christmas book in December, you found out that there were clones of Peter living with MJ. Okay, so basically we find out that Peter was cloned, uh, and it's not actually Peter cloned, it's actually the suit was being Peter so that they would not know that he was gone. Um, so when this book opens up, um, the first thing we see is and for what I could see, it was a black suit Spider-Man. It was Venom. And it reveals that it's actually Peter's son is using the suit and wearing it in the black and white style to look for Peter. So what we find out later, once everything goes through and Mysterio shows up, there's a whole big deal with Mysterio and stuff. So that's really cool. But what I was talking about earlier about how these two connected, Craven strikes a deal with Peter and Harry and says, "Okay, I want to hunt you, and if you win, I'll let you go. If I win, whatever happens, happens. I want to hunt you." So they both agree, and as soon as they agree, he hits a button. They drop down below the floor, and Peter looks at Harry, and they're in like this uh subterranean jungle looking environment, and you find out that they are in the savage land. So you're in the ultimate savage land.
Nice.
Dinosaurs come and start attacking them. So that's where the book ends. So we'll see where it goes next. But you know, two books this week that both had the savage land in them, surprisingly. So
Nice.
really good.
So, Chris, for somebody who's not reading the Ultimates, I've only read the first couple of issues of Ultimate Spider-Man. You said Peter
Mhm.
and Harry are friends. Does Harry know
Mhm.
that he's Spider-Man?
Yes, Harry knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and they both work with Dr. Octopus, Octavius. And Octavius built Harry a Green Goblin suit. So they work together as Spider-Man and Green Goblin to stop crime.
So he's a good version of the Green Goblin.
He's
That's
a good
awesome.
version of the Green Goblin.
That's
Excuse me.
awesome. Great new way to take it to a different plot. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the best Spider-Man book I've read in
well,
years.
I'm going to surprise you with my picks this week because I'll show you what I've read today. Superman, right?
Superman. Yep.
Superman 22. Good story.
Uh, it,
Um,
hey, quick question before you jump to another one. Is Jamal Campbell back on that one?
he is not. It was Dan Mora drawing it.
Okay, well,
He
Dan's a
was
real
writing
great.
and Mora was drawing. Mora's artwork was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
Um, I read Power Girl number 17. She's got the
okay.
new old suit with the S symbol window on it.
Yeah,
Okay. And then what's been a great read, Justice League Unlimited.
yeah.
Number 3 was
Yeah.
really good. But I kind of went the indie route this week. And the two books I read that I actually enjoyed this week a lot, Return of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dead, number 1. Picked it up because it's a Mark Spears cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Sat down and read it today. I was impressed with the story. I enjoyed it. You know,
So let me ask you this. Is it a continuation of the original Return of the Living Dead?
they haven't really said. It's this group of kids who are teenagers working at a theme park on an island. Okay. Some kids like break in and they hide out overnight and they're they're trying to ride rides while the park is closed. And security is in there. And the teenagers who are working at the park for the summer have little cabins on the outside of the park that they stay in. Well, one of them is helping the construction guy tear down the old shooting gallery, and they're moving these big barrels. And when they open the barrels, they knock one over and open it, and the gas gets out, and there's a zombie in it.
Oh,
I don't know if that came from the original Return of the Living Dead. I've only seen Night of the Living Dead. I've never watched Return.
Probably does. There was probably like a number on the side of the barrel that
Yeah.
coincided with the original. So it probably does have something to do with it. So
But yeah, the artwork in it is great. It's not lifelike like Mark's on the cover. It's more cartoony look,
right.
and it's actually works well with the story. Um, yeah.
Hey, I forgot to do it, but you go ahead and do it and I do it. Give a shout out to the writer and the artist too on that. So
On
we make
that,
sure
okay.
they
Writer and
yeah.
artist on Return of the Living Dead. Because yeah, like I said, I picked it up because it was a Mark Spears cover, and I'm collecting his artwork.
Yeah.
But Return of the Living Dead, writers S.A. Check and James Kuhorik. Artist is Andrea Arcari, and I'm probably not saying that right. Colorist Giovanni Caputo.
Okay.
But it's got a real I'll show you a page here, like a Saturday morning Scooby Doo cartoon vibe look to it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it's
It-
was a great read. I was shocked. I was like, okay, a horror comic, but I like horror, but it was actually good. I enjoyed it. I say shocked, but I know a lot of the independent stuff we read is always really good.
yeah. Indie tends to be really good. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to like with Marvel and DC. A lot of times, there's a lot of books out there, but a lot of them are not that
Yeah.
good. But with like the indies, we're finding when the creators have control of their own stuff, that's when you get the really good books and the
Yeah.
really good stories.
Well, now
So
that's my honorable mention of the week. Now, my pick of the week. You ready for this? This was a last moment pickup while I was in Greensboro. I saw it and I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and try it. The Patchwork Girl of Oz.
paperwork,
It's an image
nice.
adapted and illustrated by Otis Frampton. It does have that um kind of Scotty Young style. If you look
Oh
at
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean it's got that style in here. I've only ever read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, the original book. So I was interested in this one. So I picked it up and read through it today. Really enjoyed it. I love it. I think it's got some great art in it. I think panel wise, like panel of the week for me, it's probably this 2-page spread. It's actually 4 panels. It shows them traveling.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's nice.
I mean, it
That
gives
gives you a little bit of twig vibes
that's what
right
I was
there.
going to say. Yeah, we're linked
Yeah.
here. I was thinking twig vibes, but
Yeah.
I think for me that's my panel of the week, and I'll throw that up. And then again, there's so much good stuff in here. They hit a house there, like almost in Munchkin Land.
Nice.
You've got some great
Nice.
panels here. And some really
Josh, is that a limited series or is that going to
it
be
is,
a
it is a
ongoing?
limited series. He's adapting the novel, The Patchwork Girl of Oz, from L. Frank Baum.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a limited. Otis Frampton adapted and illustrated it. It says based on the novel by L. Frank Baum, and color flats were by Kate Frampton. So maybe his wife helped work
Yep.
on it.
Nice.
I'm just looking to see if it has an original published date for the Patchwork Girl of Oz. It does not. Does not have the original published date.
Oh yeah, it's back in the early 1900s, so you're gonna go back there somewhere.
And what
Um,
I thought was cool is as I'm going to the back of the book, Chris, is you have a map of Oz. Okay.
okay.
You flip over, you get a character compendium talking about some of the characters. And I
Nice.
found a new writer and artist I like because he has a series of 4 books called Oddly Normal. I'm going to be looking those
Okay.
up. And then he in the back he advertises 2 new books, one coming out in August and one coming out in September. Edison Pickleberry and The Song of Xanthia.
Xanthia. Yep. Yep.
That
Yep.
looks interesting. And actually, with
Cool.
my background in middle school teaching, those look like middle school books I could throw on my shelf for my kids.
Josh, that sounds like a reach out to this guy and see if he'd be interested in coming on the show sometime, talking about his comics and his books.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah, anytime. Like artists, creators, I'd be interested to know also how close he sticks to the original novel, if it's a interpretation or if it's the word by word, step by step.
yep.
Because the beauty of having a limited series on comics is you can tell the whole story,
Yes.
because if you try to shove it all in one book, it's just not going to happen. Because it's like taking a book and turning it into a movie. A lot of times, it doesn't get all that you need to
Right.
get in it.
You know what I
So,
wondered,
so
Chris, about this is you've read the Scotty Young Marvel Oz's.
yep.
Did he do Patchwork Girl or did he skip that one?
I don't think Patchwork Girl is there. I
Okay.
don't think it's there. I know we got Wizard of Oz, Ozma of Oz, um, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. Um, there was five total, and I
Really
can't
did five.
remember.
I know that
The
15,
marvelous Land of Oz was one,
yeah.
but there's one more, and I can't remember. So
I know there are 15 total novels because I had
yeah,
a couple
yeah,
years ago, they put that 5 volume set out with 3 novels in each one. And I have
yeah.
those collections, the Oz collection. So there's still a lot. I mean, if this does well, I could see him go back and doing another one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Especially telling one that a lot of people aren't familiar with.
Yeah.
Because like the Ozma of Oz, Ozma of Oz is basically Return to Oz. The movie Return to Oz. You're gonna get that story. You get the TikTok and Jack Jack Pumpkinhead and the flying couch that had the moose head and the Wheelers and
Not
stuff like that. Um so yeah, you kind of get that story in Scotty Young's. And if you haven't ever read that, Scotty actually illustrated that one. He didn't write it.
yeah.
Um, but I'm almost certain that they went with the original on that. You get the original story and
Yeah.
stuck really close to it. So um, it's definitely one worth. I'd love to have a copy of the omnibus just to put in my collection
Oh
with
yeah.
all of them.
Well, he's definitely
While we're doing that, let me give a quick shout out. I'm gonna look in here and get the names. I know for Ultimate Spider-Man, your writer is going to be Jonathan Hickman, and your artist is Marco Cicchetto,
yeah.
a really great artist. He's actually going to be at MegaCon too. I'd love to get him to sign my book, one of my books as well. Um, this one actually, you know who's writing Rogue Savage Land? Tim Seeley. Tim
Okay.
Seeley is writing it, and then the artist is Zulema Scotto Lavina. And let me see if I can find that panel I wanted you to see. It's a well, I know it's here. So there you go. That was my panel of the week. It's a really good panel. We get to see Rogue in her full
Savage Lands
savage.
in the back. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
a really great.
honorable mention
So
to the last book I picked up. I haven't read yet, but these have been really great. Power Rangers Prime, taking the mythology in a whole new direction. Melissa Flores is writing it. She finished up the regular Power Rangers run. She did the Dead Lucky for the massive verse. Okay. And she's doing an amazing job with these books. I'm really enjoying that. Now, the back issue bin, I got lucky on this week. I walked in and I'm a Motu guy. Andy had Masters of the Universe #1, #2, and the final issue, #13. So
nice, nice.
I got quite a few good ones there coming my way. Now I got to add to the search and find the rest of those. There's old 80 Star comics.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the fun of collecting, going through that search and finding those good books. Josh, I think you told me too. You walked into a store in Greensboro and
Yes.
got the first issue of Primer. You've been looking for that one. You were able to get your hands on that one as
Yes, I
well.
did. I've got
Uh,
that over on my table in the room. I picked up that one. What what did I say the name of that shop was, Chris? You made me forget.
Parts Unknown.
Parts Unknown. Yes, Parts Unknown. John Hitchcock was the owner. Super great guy. We got a video coming up. I recorded footage in the shop, a little walk around, and actually did probably about a 10-minute interview with him. And he was talking about some of the comic guys that he knew, the creator of the Spirit, and several other guys that he knew from back in the day, which was pretty cool hearing some of those stories about
Nice.
those guys. But that's
Nice,
coming up on
nice.
the channel. I've got that coming. Also want to mention visited Nerd Bombers in Greensboro.
I
Super
like Nerd
cool
Bombers.
spot.
They're awesome.
It's their new location, Chris. It's not the one we went into the first time.
Nice.
Super nice location, big place, lots of cool action figures, toys, pops, comics, cards. Has a little bit of everything in there. He did not interview, but we did a tour of the shop. Did talk to him a little afterwards, and they're doing a fundraiser for child hunger in Greensboro. I'm going to have a piece to put up about that when I put up our tour of the shop. That's coming up probably this week. I should be able to get those knocked out. They're going to have a former WWE, AEW, ROH female wrestler there at the shop doing signings and all with them for the day to help raise money for that childhood hunger group that works out of Greensboro.
Nice, nice,
That
nice. And guys, these are great. All these local shops are great. The internet is great for some things you can't get your hands on, but if you live within driving distance of a comic shop, I encourage you to drive to that comic shop. Let's keep these local comic shops open, because you know, uh, Josh got the Return of the Living Dead. He might not have been able to get that if he, without our local comic shop, Carolina Comics and More. I love, the fact that I don't have to worry about like a comic book. If I want it, I go ahead and put it on my pull list, and Andy will get it into my bin for me. I don't have to worry about it not being there because sometimes I can't go in every Wednesday. And, some people go in first thing in the morning and when they open, well, somewhere in the mid afternoon when they open, but, you know, just having that ability to go pick them up without worrying about them not being on the shelf is great.
Oh, and
Um,
if you don't have a local comic shop, if you've got one 30 minutes to an hour away and you can visit them every 2, 3, 4 weeks, they'll pull for you and hold it for you and you can come pick them up. So if you have that and you want to read and you can't make the trip but once a month, the local shops are good about that. They'll hold your books for you as long as you come in once a month to get them.
Yeah, yeah. I was in there a couple of weeks ago, and this guy came in, and Andy says this guy only comes in every 6 months. But Josh, he bought a stack of omnibuses and graphic novels. I guarantee it was that tall.
Nice.
Um, I won't say how much it was because it was a lot, but that's the way this guy does, and he comes in and that's how he catches up on all the reading. So he was asking me for some advice about what was good, what was, what he should be reading, and yeah, he picked a bunch up, and I'm like, cool, I like that. You can read the whole story that way instead of, weekly waiting for something or monthly waiting for something. Um, I forgot to throw out there too my other book. It's an honorable mention. I don't have one in here with me. It's actually on my reading stack inside. Ultimate Wolverine. I picked it up last week. That book is right on target with the rest of these Ultimates
Nice.
books. Yeah, I think it was a good setup book. We get the story that and that it takes place in Russia, and um Wolverine is, of course, Logan, and he has the healing factor, and he's old and everything. Well, the Makers Council, which is basically the Maker has councils all over the world that run all of the areas like New York, well, America and Russia and whatever. The Makers Council consists of Magic, and I believe it's Omega Red
Okay.
and Colossus, and so they get hold of Wolverine, and basically take him, erase his memory. There was talk about him, some kind of experiment, which is probably going to be the Weapon X thing where they put the adamantium in him, but they erased his memory and turned him into the Winter Soldier. So the Ultimate Wolverine is the Ultimate Winter Soldier, which is cool. He's a bad guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's good at what he does, and what he
Hmm.
does isn't always nice.
Yeah, he's good at being bad. He's
Yeah,
good at being bad.
awesome. Well,
So you've been gone for a couple of days.
yeah,
So you probably haven't had time to watch a whole lot. I have not watched a whole lot this week. I have not. We're kind of in a lull right now. We don't have any Star Wars shows. We don't have any Marvel shows going on right now. I know what February 14th is when Captain America drops at the movie theater. I'm excited to go see that. I might have to take a trip to Greenville to hit the IMAX to check that one out.
we
Um,
did get a first image of Millie Alcock as Supergirl this week because they saw
yeah, we did get that
um
right.
it's
We
the
got
back of her
we're
head sitting in the chair, but
mhm.
James Gunn is good about little teases.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see her in costume. And we got like a little bit of a slight different take on the already existing Superman logo there on the back of the chair.
Yeah,
I think it was the same logo, but just a little bit darker, I think.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and that may have been the way they took the picture. I mean,
That's
I'm
what
sure her suit's going to look great.
Yep.
We also got her parents cast this week.
Yeah.
Um,
Um uh not David Dismalchin. If you ever watch Numbers,
yeah, yeah,
he was in Numbers. He was also in the Santa Claus. He was the elf.
yeah.
Yes, he was Bernard. Bernard.
Bernard. He
Elf.
was
Can't
Bernard.
remember his name.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, he was cast as. I wonder if he's playing her Kryptonian father.
I heard it was the Kryptonian parents.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was the Kryptonian parents. Now, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I read that it was the Kryptonian parents. So there's something to be excited about. We're going to get a Superman movie this year and a Supergirl movie next year
Yes.
with Josh, let's talk about too another casting in the DC universe.
David.
We got our
Oh,
yeah,
Chris,
go ahead.
got the names. David Krumholtz and
Yep.
Emily Beecham.
Emily Beecham, yeah.
Emily Beecham, Supergirl's
Yep.
parents. Um,
Yep.
so okay, I had not heard it was the Kryptonian parents, but that would work as well. You can
yeah.
go ahead with that other
Um,
casting, Chris.
Yeah, we got the Lantern Corps is starting to come together.
Yeah,
I guess we can safely say we now have four lanterns in the DCU.
yes,
Um, you're gonna have your uh uh look, I've turned stupid. You're gonna have your Hal Jordan lantern,
yep.
which is our friend from Friday Night Lights and Early Edition.
Early edition,
You're
yes.
gonna Yeah, you're gonna have your John Stewart lantern, relatively new character. I can't remember his name. Um,
Yes,
you've got your you've got your guy Gardner, who's gonna be in the Superman movie, which we all know is Nathan Fillion with the really bad bowl haircut.
yes.
But that's the way he looks. Uh, study your comics, people, before you complain. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and
This is the
your
way he
comic
looks.
artists have even come out and said, yes, he looks like what I drew.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Know your comics, know your comics. But we got an exciting casting announcement this weekend. Relatively unknown actor that I've never heard of before. I can't remember his name, but the beauty is he's been cast as Sinestro.
I
So we're
got
gonna have that Yellow Lantern.
his name is Ulrich Thompson.
Okay,
Ulrich
okay,
Thompson
nice,
as Sinestro.
very cool, very cool.
John Stewart is Aaron Pierre.
Yep.
Okay. We also have a couple of cast members which we don't know what parts they're playing. Kelly McDonald,
Yeah.
Garrett Dillahunt, and Porna Yagnathan. And I'm probably mispronouncing
Hey,
it horribly.
sorry about that, but
Um, Now, here's the thing, Chris. Are we getting a Green Lantern Sinestro? Or will he already be a Yellow Lantern?
guess we'll just have to wait and see. You know, I'm sure Gunn will keep leaking little stuff to us here and there. Um, I did hear one other rumor this week. There's so many floating around. There's rumors about who is going to be the DCU's Wonder Woman. There's so many different people they want to be Wonder Woman. Um, there's lots of rumors going around about who's going to be the X-Men. And one of the things I've heard a lot for Rogue up here is I shoot, what's her name? She was in Percy Jackson, the original movie.
Wait, Annabeth.
Alexa Alexandra Daddario is her
Yeah,
name. You
yeah.
know, Alexandra Daddario. I could see that it would work. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but the biggest one I read this week, and I don't know how true it is, Josh. I don't know if you heard or not. They're looking to recast Black Panther because obviously, we're going to Secret Wars. Um, a former has already been a superhero in the DCEU. Aldous Hodge, who played Hawkman, could possibly come into the role of Black Panther and be T'Challa in Secret Wars.
I could see that. Aldous Hodge is a great actor. If you've never seen him before, there used to be this show on TV called Leverage, where they would go in and do these jobs where they would rob these different places and all. And this guy had hired all them. Actually, the guy from Will and Grace that played Will was the head of all of it. Um, and he hired these former thieves to go in and help him. And Aldous Hodge was one of the thieves. He was one of the guys. He was like their tech expert on that show. So yeah,
So let's do this, Josh, to kind of end this segment of the show, and then we'll kind of tell everybody where we're going next and stuff. Let's put this out here as kind of a survey, and you guys leave us a comment. We know so far who has been cast in the DCU. Why don't you, as viewers, pick? I'd say the whole DCU. Take the whole DC universe. Pick a character who hasn't been cast yet and leave us your fan casting. Who you would love to see that. Wonder Woman, Batman. We're pretty sure Batman may have already been cast, but Booster Gold. Who else have we got out there? You know,
well, we got Booster Gold. We got to have a Ted Cord Blue Beetle.
yeah, we do need a Ted Cord Blue Beetle. I mean, just there's so many characters. How about what's their name? Zan and Jaina, the Wonder
Yes, the
Twins.
Wonder
Let's
Twins.
cast let's
Yeah,
cast them
bring them in.
and Gleek the monkey.
Yes, and Gleek.
Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah. Gorilla Grodd. I mean, you can go villains. I mean, because there's so many villains out there in the DC universe.
Rod's already in the
Um,
DCU. We've seen him on Creature.
he's there. We just don't know who he is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
No?
That's true. Hey, Sergeant Rock is already in the DC
Yep.
universe. We just don't know who he is yet.
Yep. There's a lot of people that have popped up. Well, Chris, you mentioned Creature Commandos. I want to go back to the shows for 1 minute because there's one I want to mention that I binge watched. My Adventures with Superman season 2. Loved it. So well done.
It's a
Production
it's a
of
great.
Zor-El as Supergirl, the way they did it. This show proves, yes, I love my comic purist stuff, but I also love when they take something and they adapt it so well. Because they took Brainiac and adapted that character in a total different direction. They took
Yeah, it's what
adapted her
it's well done.
and it
It's
was
very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for season three. I want to see what they do with that because it is well done. One of my favorite cartoons. I mean, Creature Commandos is well done as well. I mean, it was a beautiful show. I love how they build it up and everything, and it's exciting to see because sometimes there's stuff that you can't do in a live action movie, like with Creature Commandos. They were able to do stuff that you can't normally do in a movie. Of course, I say that, and then you watch a movie like The Suicide Squad, and it's ridiculous what happened in that movie. And it's a great movie again because James Gunn had his hands all over it. So
You
so
had Starro. You
yeah,
had
exactly.
Starro in that movie. I mean, that's a you never thought you'd see a live action Starro, and they did it.
Yeah, but you also had Scarro, your brain, when you had to see John Cena running around in his tidy whities.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And then they did it again in Peacemaker season one.
Peacemaker, yeah, yeah. Which that's coming soon too. We're going to get a Peacemaker season two. That's going to be great to see as well. John Cena does well in that role.
Yes.
Um, it's like he was born to play that part.
Too
So
bad it's just a
sometimes
t-shirt running across the screen.
what's that? Yeah, well, it was
That
just
is just
tidy
a
whitey
normal
underwear.
t-shirt running across the screen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think one thing to get excited about, I know a lot of us don't care about it up here. If you do, great. Uh, in a couple of weeks, the Super Bowl is coming. And you
Yeah,
know what that means? That means new previews, new trailer previews. And I've heard a rumor that we're going to get the first Fantastic Four trailer on the Super Bowl,
that would be great.
which which would line it up perfect with the fact that Thunderbolt, not Thunderbolt, excuse me, Captain America is coming out,
Yep.
and it would put it at coming out with that as well. So, are we going to go see Captain America to see Red Hulk? Shout out to our friend Jason Keith. We're excited for you, man, that you're going to get to see um, one of your creations, basically. You colored that guy the first time in the comic book. You get to see him show up on the big screen in a
Yep.
movie. That's awesome. So, so yeah. So again, back. Don't forget, do the survey, leave a comment, let us know who you want to be cast for the DCU. We got a long time. We got the first 10 years, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yep.
I mean, we don't even have a Batman cast yet. So your big three, the only cast you got is Superman. We don't have a Wonder Woman. We don't have a Batman. So, uh,
Man is the first
it's a
hero.
good, yeah, and it should be. I mean, Superman was the first hero in DC Comics, which was, I guess, Action Comics at the time. So it should be Superman, and then you build from there. Especially, I love the fact that we don't have to have an origin story. We know the origin story. We're fans. We've seen the origin story. We've heard the origin story. And Josh, I hope that we don't have to see Doomsday come kill Superman anytime soon because we've seen that enough.
No, I don't think we'll see Doomsday anytime soon, or any Lord of the Rings orcs come to kill Superman either.
Lord
Because
of the Rings
Snyder had
orcs.
Lord of the Rings orc. That wasn't Doomsday.
Yeah.
That was an orc from the Lord of the Rings. He looked horrible. Well, Chris, before we jump into
Yeah.
what we've got coming up on the road, let's talk about comics for next week. Or I guess this week coming up now when this goes up.
This week coming up now. Yeah.
Week of January.
Let me
Are you pulling up your list?
yeah, I'm pulling it up right now on my handy dandy League of Comic Geeks thing
Well,
here. We'll tell you what we're
I'll tell you, I've got Jim Henson's Labyrinth #5, which has been great because they're pulling from the novel and they're adding in parts that weren't in the movie. Knights versus Samurai #5. David Dismalchin is writing. Great book. Our buddy Mark Spears Monsters #3 hits this week. I actually have two covers of that coming in. I'm getting the Frankenstein and the Dracula and his bride's cover.
Gosh, I got five covers coming. I got three I ordered from Keen Spot. So
Um, Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles of Grayskull #3, which has been a fun read. Power Lords #1 from the Nacelleverse. If you're not reading the
Okay.
Nacelleverse stuff, it's been great. That surprising one, Return of the Living Dead #2, is hitting this week, and that will be a Mark Spears cover as well. Silverhawks #1 hits this week from Dynamite. So we've got 2/3 of the trilogy there with Thundercats and Silverhawks under Dynamite.
Nice. Nice. What did you say was the Mark Spears cover?
Return of the Living Dead #2.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
We've got the
Yeah.
Superman Lex Luthor special #1 coming. I have a feeling he's going to get his memory back finally. Ninja Turtles #6, Jason Aaron's run that has been really great. And
Yeah, I
then
loved it. I just read 5 yesterday. It's great. 5 was a Casey Jones story, and Casey's one of my favorite characters.
we've got the Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution #4 hitting. And I think that's only a 5-issue series. I think there's one more after this.
I think there's 5, and that's it. Well, I said I've got the 5 Mark Spears coming. I get every cover I can get my hands on. And the beauty of that is if you follow us and you go to shows, a lot of times I'll pick my favorite cover and keep it, and then I'll sell the other ones if somebody's interested in getting them. So I've got those coming. We got Spider Boy #15 hitting this week. I started recollecting that one. They've been introducing a lot of new characters in there, Josh, and I think what they're doing is they're building the new champions. So I
Nice.
think we're getting ready to get the new champions through there. I'm getting the turtles, like you said. I don't know if you saw this or not, but I'm actually got it on my pull list. I don't know if you see it. Spears is doing the Thundercats cover with
Thundercat
Mum-Ra.
cover. Ooh,
Yep, yep, it's a Mum-Ra cover. I put that one on my pull list,
yeah.
and I also have Ultimate X-Men #11 coming out, which that one has been a real slow build, but it's been a good story as well too. Um, I do have a couple from last week that I'm waiting to come in. I noticed when I was looking through my pulls, I've got a Scotty Young Amazing Spider-Man #66, the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. I got to pick up. I don't know why that one didn't make it in my pull box this week, but it may not have been in yet. And then Mark Spears #2, Monsters #2. There's a second printing, I believe, or
Yes.
second printing. Yeah, we're waiting on that to come in as well. So yeah, some good books coming out this week. Which
Must be a reprint. Murder
um,
Kingdom #3.
Murder Kingdom #3 comes out this week as well too. I did get the
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
As you were reading that one.
So yeah, yeah, and that's been really fun too. If I were you, Josh, I'd wait until I get all 5 of them. I'll just loan them to you. You can read them
Yeah.
all at one shot.
Yeah, I like
It's
reading
fun.
that. I know I
Yeah,
read
it's
the
a
first
really good read.
was good.
Yeah, the artwork in there is really good, really good. So then let's talk about what we've got coming up over the next couple of months. Obviously, you guys know we have our convention coming up September 6th. We are
September
deep
7th.
in the bowels of planning September 6th.
The
So
6th or
it's pretty
the
cool of us. Huh?
7th? The
The
6th or the 7th?
6th. It's the 6th,
Yes,
dude.
it is the 6th. I don't know why I keep thinking it's the 2nd. The 6th.
It's the 6th.
Yeah.
Then the 6th. So September 6th on my birthday. How hard is that to forget? It's my birthday. So we're gonna throw a convention for my birthday. We've been lining up guests. We got a lot of vendors. I just announced another vendor today on Facebook. A really good friend of ours, Mitchell's Mess and More. They bring a ton of sports cards and wrestling memorabilia figures. They meet a lot of the wrestlers. They get stuff signed. I know I've looked at a lot of signed stuff, autograph stuff on their table. So if you're into wrestling, show up. Man, they got some really great stuff. Get you some old Hulk Hogan shirts or, the Four Horsemen or V Generation X. So that's coming up. I am headed in 2 weeks. I'll be at MegaCon. We're headed to MegaCon. I'm gonna be doing a lot of recording there, a lot of Snapchatting. I started us back on Snapchat, so be doing a lot of Snapchat so you can see things. Actually going to meet. We're going to get our picture taken with Matt Smith and Alex Kingston from Doctor Who. I'm excited for that, and got a ton of books to take and get signed. I mean, Josh Todd McFarlane's going to be there. Frank Miller, Scott Snyder, Marco Cicchetto, that's doing this book, is there. Um, Dennis Camp, who's doing the Ultimates, is going to be there. God, there's so many people. Donnie Cates is going to be there, as well as Ryan Stegman. So I've got a facsimile copy of Venom #3, the first appearance of Null. I'm gonna get that signed. Yeah, I'm gonna might be a facsimile, but I think price will go up once I get Donnie Kate and Ryan Stegman's autograph on it.
When you talk
So
to Donnie, find out if he's bringing crossover back over at Image. Is he coming?
yeah, I'll find out. I know it was unfortunate what happened. I don't know, he had a really bad car wreck and it stopped him from working on comics for a while. But he's a great writer, a great creator, and I love to see him back doing comics. So I can't wait to meet him. Um, and then I guess Josh, what's the next thing we got?
Um, February 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd.
Is our next thing.
Yeah, our good friends, the Geeks in Greenville, run that show. It's a great show. It has grown. You remember the first time we did it with them, Josh? It was over at the little American Legion building.
Yeah,
It is now at the Greenville Convention Center, so it's going to be a big show. I know Josh has got a table full of comics. I've got a table full of comics we're bringing, and we got a little surprise coming too. We have got a brand new backpack that we're going to fill up with comic books. I've got some comic related like Christmas ornaments. I've got some just all kinds of comic related stuff. We're going to fill that backpack up and we're going to hold a raffle for that backpack that day. So if you don't have a comic collection or if you just want to pick up more comics and stuff, come buy a ticket. I think we're probably going to do like $2 a piece for the ticket. And at the end of the day, we'll draw your name, hopefully, or the ticket number. We'll set a time. We'll call that ticket number. We'll probably do it over the loudspeaker. And if you win that thing, and I guess the most important thing to tell you is that we're going to give 50% of that to, I believe, the Geektacular, their Hero Initiative is what they do, correct?
I believe so.
Which is a organization that a lot of your comic book creators back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even the 80s were not able to get proper like insurance and things to take care of themselves. And so their retirement, when they quit and they can't create anymore,
Yeah,
they don't really get a lot of money. So it's kind of to help out these people who have created the things that we love to be able to continue to get medical care, to do the things they need to do at their stage in life. So there's that.
great foundation.
Mark, yeah, what's that?
It's a great foundation to help these guys out.
Yeah, it is. It
A lot
is.
of
Yeah.
people don't realize that these guys who created all these great characters, they don't own the rights to them. They did work for hire
Right.
contracts. And so the rights to these characters belong to the comic companies, and the comic companies are the ones when that movie comes out, when you buy that t-shirt with Spider-Man on it or the Superman symbol shirt, that money goes to DC and Marvel. It doesn't go to the creators. So
Yeah. Yeah. Josh, I'm excited about the next thing on our schedule.
yeah,
March 1st and 2nd, Coastal Comic Con. We'll be interviewing Stephen Powell probably 2 weeks before that show. We'll let you know. We'll have that up on our channel telling you about that. was a great show last year. We were there for Saturday. We're going to try to do both days. I know so far the major guests they've announced, Ross Marquand is going to be there. He was the Red Skull in Infinity War and Endgame. He was also a steady character, pretty solid actor on The Walking Dead. If you watched any of The Walking Dead, he was there. I believe, as a matter of fact, I think he survived everything. He's still around. He actually lost his hand, and in the show he lost his hand, and they put like a mace on his hand that had spikes, and that's what he used to fight with.
Nice.
So I'm excited to meet him. I think I saw they've got Cal Dodd, the voice of Wolverine from X-Men 97 is going to be there.
Yeah,
Um, I haven't seen any of the others yet. I know there's more.
Chris, I just
Steven's been
pulled
a
it up, and
yeah.
the very first one I see, Sam Witwer.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
Sam
Sam
Witwer,
Witwer is there.
Matthew
Your
Wood.
Darth Maul. Matthew Wood, he's the voice of General Grievous.
Yes.
Um,
Matthew Watterson, the voice of Magneto from X-Men 97.
yep.
Caitlin
Mhm.
Robrick, Robrock, Minnie Mouse, and some anime characters. I
Yep,
don't.
that's right.
Ross Marquand was the voice of um, Professor X in X-Men 97.
Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes.
Not a lot of doubles like Matthew Wood did voice work. Sam Witwer did voice and acting. So we've got a lot of
Yep.
that. Yeah. So that's going to be a cool
Mm.
show. And I'm sure there's more being announced.
Yep. And stay tuned because we'll do that interview. And by the time we do that interview, we should have a full list of all the celebrities. There was a great vendor showing last time we were there. A
Yeah.
lot of our friends from the Wilmington area are there. So make sure you get down there and check that one out. And then I think we'll kind of end it on this one. March 29th, we are headed back to Wilmington. We will be at the American Legion, I believe. I believe it's the American Legion, but if not, we'll throw an address up here or something.
Cape
Um,
Fear Pop Culture Fest.
Yep, Cape Fear Pop Culture Fest. We've done this show multiple times. It's a great show. I think, like 80 tables full of stuff, all kinds of stuff. Um, Great show. I think he charges like $3 to get in the door is all pretty cheap to get in. Saves you money, so you don't have to so you don't have to you can save that money and spend it with your vendors. We'll be there set up with the table. We'll see how many comics and stuff we have left after we do Geektacular. I know
Yeah.
Josh and I have gotten some new comics for the channel. So we're going to have some new stock out there for you to dig through. And
Chris, is that the
we're
Elks?
excited.
Is that the Elks?
Yeah, the Elks Lodge. It is the Elks Lodge. We've been there a lot. And I just, for some reason, American Legion, I think because I was talking about Geektacular. But yeah, we've got those coming up. So again, thanks guys for watching this. If you stuck through it all the way, we appreciate it. Don't forget that we've still got the contest going on to help us pick a name for this show. We
Yeah.
still don't have one yet. Josh, I'm excited to read some more comics this week, and I'm excited because I got to work a whole week this week and then 3 days next week, and then I'll be jumping in the car heading to Orlando,
Nice.
bringing you guys all kinds of great footage. Hopefully, Josh may have to do he can either do a show or if I can find some Wi-Fi down there, I'll come in the next
Pull
week
together.
from
Yeah.
Orlando.
Yep.
Um, a much warmer climate, hopefully.
Yes.
Tired of being cold, so. All right, man. Well, we're going to end this thing. We will see you guys later, and thanks for watching.